Yo ho ho, what's up everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Stack Sats Show, your beginner-friendly guide to saving in Bitcoin. What up? It's Friday! It's Friday, everybody. Welcome to the stream. We made it through the week. Another long week of stacking hard. But we wrapped up the week with a pretty good, we're at a good point. We're at a good spot. $69,500 Bitcoin. It's holding the new all-time high. The first new all-time high of 2024. It seems to be acting like some kind of support. So it's pretty good. What we're gonna do here today is hang out. It's Friday. If you ain't stacking, you're slacking. If you ain't stacking, you're slacking. It's Friday. Let's go. Round of applause from the live studio audience for Garrett. Garrett coming in early, smacking that like button. Thanks Garrett for doing that. Leonard in the house. What up, Leonard? Good to see you. And Carlos Aramillo. What's up, Carlos? Good to see you in the chat. Alrighty, boys. Today we're gonna introduce a different website for the Sat Strength segment. So I'm excited about that. Excited to be supporting this website. Not sponsored or anything like that, but it's put together by a cool dude, but we'll look into it in depth today, and then we're gonna start using this chart going forward. Okay. Alrighty. So that said, now that I kind of introduced it a little bit, let's get into that. If you're new here, thanks for tuning in. My name is Roman. We talk about buying Bitcoin and saving in Bitcoin Monday through Friday, 12:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 3:30 Eastern. And we talk about it here because Bitcoin is the best way to conserve the value of the hours you've already worked against the inflating monetary system that we live in. So if you're interested in that, want to learn more about it, tune in, subscribe, hit that bell notification so you don't miss when we start the show. And if you have any questions during the live stream or watching a replay, put it in the comments or leave it in the chat. Sorry. Ask it in the chat or leave it in the comments. I'll answer your question the next day if I see a comment that is worth elaborating on. If I can't answer it quickly enough for you on just with text, I'll make a whole episode about it the following day. So ask your questions and let's get started. We're talking about Bitcoin only. No poop coins around here. Just stacking sats, fractions of a Bitcoin for future generations, for ourselves too in the future, but more than that for our descendants. Okay, so that's what you're gonna get here. It's beginner friendly, no cursing, so you can watch it with your kids in the background if you have kids in the house, in the car, and don't have to worry about me slipping a word or two that you don't want to have to explain what it means to your kids. all right, so that said, let's get into the first segment of the show that we like to call the Sat Strength. That jam is catchy. All right. Introducing, this site's been around for a while. I'm not introducing it, but I might be introducing it to you. Okay. This site is called timechainstats.com. It's basically tracking a lot of Bitcoin data like the other site we were using before. But I don't know who runs the other site. And I know who runs this site. Well, I don't know him personally, but I know of him. And so we're going to support this site. Okay. So timechainstats.com. It's a great place to go check out information for Bitcoin. Okay, so what we're curious about today is how many satoshis can we buy for $1? Okay, and it's right here at the very top. We can buy 1,437 satoshis at the current price of Bitcoin. The current price of Bitcoin is $69,566.85. You might be asking yourself, what the heck is a sat? What the heck is a satoshi? Well, a sat is short for satoshi. A satoshi is a fraction of a Bitcoin. Just like a dollar has 100 pennies, a Bitcoin has 100 million satoshis. So why is that important to highlight? It's important to highlight because you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin all at once. You can buy it in fractions. You can buy portions of a Bitcoin. And whatever money you do invest in Bitcoin, that money immediately starts to reap the benefits of being out of inflation. Even if it's just $10, that $10 worth of value that you put into Bitcoin by buying satoshis, by buying fractions of a Bitcoin, will be immune to the government's money printer and the banks issuing debt. Okay, so that value will not be inflated anymore. Okay. All right. So okay, let's see. So we're going to check out. Yes, walking down the street, minding your own business. You look down, you see a penny, you pick it up, and all that day, you could have 14.39 satoshis for a single penny. It's crazy, right? It's crazy. Okay. Anyway, it's just another way of showing you that that satoshis are really cheap right now. Okay, you get them for cheap. But as the price of Bitcoin goes up, you're gonna get less and less satoshis for a penny. Also, less and less satoshis for a dollar. Okay. Right now, you can look at all this cool information on here. It's pretty cool. Let's see. Difficulty. Max supply 21 million. Left to mine. 93% of all Bitcoin has been mined. Left to mine is 1,333,969 Bitcoins. That's cool. You can get 1 Satoshi is worth 0.000695 US dollars. That's cool. I like the way it breaks down all this. Let's see. 1,000 Satoshis is like 69 cents. 10,000 Satoshis is $6.95. That's cool. 1 million Satoshis is $695.42. That's interesting. Cool. So that's a cool little chart to have handy. Bitcoin breakdowns. Oh yeah. Anyway, it's a cool site. Go check it out and explore it. I don't even know what this is. What is this? Oh yeah, this tells you about the Bitcoin network, the health of the Bitcoin network, hash rate, how many nodes are up. That's cool. Yep, there it is. Where's the node count? There it is. Nodes found. 18,383 nodes spread out around the world. In order to kill Bitcoin, you have to kill all those nodes, every single one of them, and never not one single one of those nodes should be able to get back on the internet. It's going to be pretty impossible to do that. BTC Backpacker in the house. What up? Round of applause from the live studio audience for BTC Backpacker. Give me a Puff Daddy BTC. What? Smash those like, guys. Let's go. Thanks, guys. Thanks for hitting the like. Okay, so that is the update. That is the status of the Bitcoin, the SAT strength. So there it is. SAT strength accomplished. Okay, let's talk about why we stack. Why we stack. All right, this is a simple one today. It's Friday, just have some fun. I thought I wasn't making a long episode today, but let's just make it a short one. I got stuff I need to do. You got stuff you need to do. We're here to stack sats. Okay, we're stacking sats because we understand that saving in Bitcoin is the easiest way to get wealthy. It is, right? You buy Bitcoin, you take custody of it, and the system is not working for you. The inflationary monetary system is not making your Bitcoin more valuable. So you're gaining purchasing power just by holding Bitcoin. You don't need to rent it out. You don't need to lend it out. You don't need to treat it like something that's going to give you some kind of yield, because it doesn't need cash flow. It's going up in value so much that it's overwhelming any kind of cash flow that any other kind of asset could give you. Okay, it's just appreciating faster than, plus there's the downsides to it. There's not that many downsides to it. You don't need to have insurance on your Bitcoin. You don't need to pay a mortgage on your Bitcoin. You buy it, you can afford it, you get it, and it's yours. That's it. And you can hold it for as long as you need to. Hold it forever if you want. And once it's in your custody, once it's in your Bitcoin wallet, It's not going to cost you any percentage a year, a month, a week, just to have it, just to hold it. Okay. So by that virtue, it is a watertight bucket for your wealth, and it doesn't have any leaks, right? When you're saving in other kind of assets like real estate, stocks, and those kinds of things, there's always fees associated with those management fees, whatever, taxes and all that kind of stuff. In real estate, in the real estate instance, you have a property tax, you have maintenance costs, you have insurance costs, right? And so, in the end, if you just hold real estate, if you just hold it, you're actually losing, because the cost of maintaining it is a big percentage, even though you might not be factoring it in, right? How much does it cost you to, in time, in your personal time, to go through and manage tenants, set up contracts, do credit reports on people that want to rent one of your places, right? That counts too, right? With Bitcoin, I don't have to do that. I don't have to check anybody's credit. I don't have to try to buy a place and rent it out, right? I can just buy the Bitcoin, take custody, and that's it. I can move on with my life. I can do other things. I can focus on my jiu-jitsu. I can focus on hanging out with my kids. I can focus on drawing stuff for me personally, right? And lately I've been focused a lot on playing guitar as well. So there you go. Anyway, that's why I stack. Why do you stack? Put it in the chat. What do you stack? Do you stack for yourself because you want to retire early and spend all your sats before you go? Do you stack for your family, for your descendants, and you want to stack as hard as you can right now? Make the sacrifice so that your future descendants down your line can be a lot better off than you are. It's pretty cool. Let me know what you think in the chat. All right, boys. That's what I got for the Why We Stack segment. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening to that. I'd love to hear what you guys' reaction is to that, and opinions and questions. All that stuff is fair game in the chat. Okay. Next order of business is the stack recap. Okay. We've been having some issues with our stacking mechanism because I'm buying too quickly. So we're going to do two things now. We're going to check out the stack recap, and after we do the stack recap, we're going to go into the actual into time to stack some stats. But we're going to stack the stats at the beginning of the segment and then at the end of the segment. That way there's some space between the two stacks so Swan doesn't freak out. Okay? So today our stack is at 41% in 2024, and it's at 87% gains since May 2023, which is pretty good. What's important to us for the sake of this episode is that the price of Bitcoin is above our average buy price. So we're only going to stack our minimum stack of $20 for our Monday through Friday DCA buy. Okay, so that's going to be the buy for today is $20. And then we also have another buying option going on right now. Let me just say hi real quick to BTC Moon Guy in the house. Round of applause from the live studio audience. What up, BTC Moon Guy? Thanks for tuning in. Okay, and then we have another way of saving stats, and I'm not going to go over it today. Maybe we'll go over it again on Monday, but the 100 stacks challenge. We are currently in the middle of, not in the middle, it's getting started, about a month into our 100 stacks challenge. If you want to understand more about the 100 stacks challenge, watch yesterday's episode. And if you want to start your 100 stacks challenge, but you want to use that template at any point during the stream, you can type in 100 stacks, exclamation point 100 stacks in the chat like I just did, and it'll give you a link to this template that you can take and use for your stacking purposes if you want to do the 100 stacks challenge. Okay, 100 stacks of Bitcoin in 100 days, no skipping days, no doubling up on days, and you got to buy one line of this chart each day. You buy the amount of Bitcoin that corresponds to the order of the line. So on this line, we have to buy 81. This line we have to buy 82. Today, we're going to vote on whether I buy a $10 spot, a $10 line, or an $82 line. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So let's jump in. J-Dub in the house. What up? Good to see you, J-Dub. Okay, so that is the status. That is what we're going to stack today. let's get into. There's only one thing left to do now that we know how much to buy, and that is it's time to stack some sets. That's right. That's right. Okay, so we have our, where is it? Where'd it go? There it is. Our first buy of the evening of the day is going to be for $20. We set it up. Here's a setting. We're using Swan to buy our Bitcoin right now. If you want to get in before Bitcoin hits 80K, like JW is saying, go to Swan Bitcoin / actually go to stacksatsshow.com / Swan. There it is in the chat, and you'll get $10 worth of Bitcoin when you sign up and make your first purchase, I think. All right, let's do this preview so I can get this buy-in. Get this buy-in before Bitcoin hits 80K. Okay, got my copy. Come back to the browser. Killing the music. Drum roll, please. Or excuse me. We're buying $20 worth of Bitcoin right now, live during the show. Let's see. Get it done. Come on, drummer. Get it. And just like that, it looks like it went through. And Bitcoin is on its way. Hooray for Bitcoin. Now, I have one question for you guys. And I'm going to put a poll up. And you tell me what we should do for the 100 stacks challenge. Okay? The 100 stacks challenge. It doesn't matter which line you buy, as long as you buy one line per day for the next 100 days. And my question to you is, I'm going to put it in the chat, is what line do we buy today? For a $10 line or the $83 line? Is that the $83 line? Let's see. Oh, we already did the $83 line. We're talking about $82 line. Boom. Okay. The poll is up. You get to decide. Choose your own adventure. Should I buy $10 worth of Bitcoin for the 100 stacks challenge daily buy today? Or should I buy $82 worth of Bitcoin for the daily stack today? What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. I'll give you guys some time to think about it while we drop the mix for the after stack music. What up, Andrew Williams in the house? Happy Friday. Good to see you in here. Happy Good Friday, fellow plebs. Keep on snacking. Thanks for doing that. Hey, do me a favor, guys. If you just came in, smack up that like button like it owes you money. Smack that like button like it owes you sats. Slap that like button like it owes you sats. What did the 5 fingers say to the face? Slap that like button. And if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe. We're at 196 subscribers. What are we gonna do when we hit 200 subscribers, guys? What's gonna be the plan? I need to know. When we hit 200 subscribers, we're about 4 or 5 subscribers away. How should we celebrate? 200 subscribers. What kind of celebration are we doing over here, guys? Let me know. All right, the poll is going. I see 4 votes, and it's a 50-50 tie. Should I buy the $10 line today or the $82 line today? Basically, if you say buy the $10 line, you think Bitcoin's going to go down and I can get a better buy tomorrow. If you think the $82 line, you think this is as low as Bitcoin's going to go. You better get in now before it goes up to infinity, right? And I'm leaning towards the $82 buy because it's going up forever, Laura. That's why. Okay. While you guys are thinking about it, I'm gonna ask Boltar, our resident Bitcoin bullish fortune teller. our bullish Bitcoin fortune teller. Let's see, Boltar. Should I stack 83? See what he says. See what Boltar says. The Bitcoin, the Boltarded fortune teller. Yeah, the Boltard fortune teller. Bitcoin is going up forever. You don't have enough. Oh, see? All right. Oh yeah, and the votes agree. We're ending the poll. Boltar has spoken. The people have spoken. In 5 votes, 60% say buy the $82 stack. So today, we're buying the $82 stack because Boltar is wise. He's all-knowing, and he says that Bitcoin is going up forever. You don't have enough. Okay? That's confirmation right there, guys. I trust Boltar. I trust Boltar, the bot generated responses randomly, because I only trust him with the most important financial decisions. Just kidding. Boltar is for entertainment purposes only. Do not take financial advice from a guy on the internet or his pet bot in the chat for the guy that's just talking about Bitcoin on the internet. Do your own research. This is not financial advice, right? Only keep as much cash, as many dollars as you're okay with getting debased on. Burn, son, burn. Let's go. Only keep as many dollars as you don't mind losing purchasing power on. Okay? And only invest. Anyway, all right. I hope that got a chuckle out of you guys on a Friday. But now that we know how much we're stacking for the 100 stacks, let's get that taken care of, because time is money and money's time, I guess. Time is money and money. Time is money and money is sats. So sats is life. I don't know. Here we go. Going back to the browser. Gonna buy again. We're buying $83 worth of Bitcoin. And I'm gonna put this on my face so I can get my preview here of this $83 buy for the records, for the show records. And I'm gonna put over here. There it is. Drum roll, please. We're buying $83 worth of Bitcoin over at swanbitcoin.com. Exclamation point Swan in the chat to get a link so you can get $10 worth of free Bitcoin when you sign up for Swan. And more drum roll. Oh, there it is. Swan's actually getting pretty responsive. I like it. I like it. And just like that, once again, the purchase has been made. And now, real quick, I'm going to update the spreadsheet. I'm going to go super fast so we can get into the Q&A segment as fast as possible. Okay. Browser. Boom. Okay. So we did an $82 stack. Oh, shoot. I put 83. Oh, well. Oh, well. This is an $83 stack. Nah, it's 82. But we'll put 83 here because that's what we bought. By mistake. My bad. It's hard to like think and run a show at the same time, so I made a mistake. It's okay. I'll live. We'll live. We'll be okay, guys. We'll be okay. $71,031 is the price of Bitcoin. I bought $83 worth of Bitcoin on line 82. That gives me 0.001159696 Bitcoin, which translates to 115,606. What? Did I not paste it? Was that from yesterday? Hang on a second, guys. Oh, I'm a dummy. I didn't paste it, so I had the same price from yesterday. Starting over. I bought today at 96,832. I was like, wow, that number is so familiar. Okay, we got 0.00176682 Bitcoin. There we go. We got 25 25,000 more sats. No, more than 25,000 more sats, right? Yeah, we got like 50,000. 60,000 more sats today than yesterday? Because the price changed that much? Is that right? Interesting. 0.0011. 11. There it is. 0.00115682. Okay, I'm troubleshooting in real time, guys. I caught my mistake twice. Okay, there it is. But yeah, we got 2,000 more sats than yesterday for the same amount of money. Okay, that brings our show 100 stacks challenge to invested $1,760, and it's worth $1,768 right now. Okay, all right. Now let's update the spreadsheet for our regular DCA schedule, which is here. I'm gonna go kind of fast, so 3, 29, 24, and today we bought at that buy was at 69,780. We bought $20 worth, and the Bitcoin it got us was 0.00028,375. Move the decimal over 8 spaces to the right, and you get your equivalent in Satoshis, and that is 28,375 Satoshis has been added to the show stack in 2024, and that gets us to 4.07 million Satoshis. We spent $2,000 on Bitcoin this year, 2024, and it's worth about 2,800 this year. So if we try to buy the same amount of Satoshis today with today's weaker money, it would cost us about $830 more to buy the same amount of Satoshis. This illustrates how the dollar is losing purchasing power against harder assets like Bitcoin and other things. Okay, this is what we're showing here. All right, so let's jump into this one and update this spreadsheet. This is a cumulative spreadsheet. This is the whole history of this show's purchasing. Okay, we're tracking every single buy here. So if you're new to the show, you want to check out what we've been doing. We started buying back in the day, May 22nd, 2023 was the first episode of the show. We bought $5 worth. The next day we bought $10 worth. The next day we bought $10 worth. The next day we bought $10 and 5 and 4 and 10, right? And since then we've accumulated 14.8 million Satoshis. We've saved $5,491 into Bitcoin, and those savings have ballooned thanks to the price of Bitcoin going up in value relative to the weaker dollar, about 87% today. So our Satoshi stack is worth $10,000, even though we only paid $5,491 to accumulate it. So if we can get these kind of gains in about 10 months, imagine what it's going to be like in 4 years, 8 years after a couple more halvings, right? It's pretty impressive. It's pretty incredible. Okay. Speaking of halvings, we have 23 days until the next halving. Well, about 24 hours, about 24 days. Okay, about 24 days, which is pretty awesome. Okay, if you don't know what a halving is, put it in the chat and I'll explain it to you. If nobody has a question about it, we're just gonna keep going. I don't keep a fiat emergency fund. BTC Moon Guy always coming in with the great comments and that stimulate good conversations, and let's talk about that right now during the Q&A section. Okay, so first of all, round of applause for BTC Moon Guy for the great comment. And we had a person in here, I forget who it was, about 3 weeks ago, asking me if I had an emergency fund, right? If I kept an emergency fund. And what I told him before was, like, for me, like, I keep any money that I don't need to spend immediately, any money that including an emergency fund. If it's an emergency fund, it doesn't take that long to liquidate, right? It doesn't take that long to liquidate Bitcoin. I wouldn't liquidate Bitcoin. I'd find other ways to try to fund whatever emergency it is, right? But if if you're holding cash, you're losing value on that cash, right? So it's not me making it up. Okay. I mean, this chart, it's real data. You guys have watched me buy this Bitcoin. Okay. Let's say my emergency fund was $5,000. Okay. And I had it in cash in a bank account sitting somewhere earning 0.01% interest. Just kidding. The interest that you're going to get on that money from your bank account, savings account, is not going to even cover the cost of the form you need to fill out to declare that as additional income. Right? Right? You're going to get charged by your tax guy for an additional form because your freaking bank gave you 50 cents worth of profit on your, sorry, paid you 50 cents worth of interest, or $5 worth of interest over the year for your $5,000 that you have sitting there in your emergency fund account, right? All right. The way I laid it out was like most of the stuff. I don't know. It's like an emergency fund is an emergency fund, but I have enough credit cards that I can use as an emergency fund, I guess you could say. While I liquidate some Bitcoin that is my actual emergency fund, right? But I wouldn't. I don't know. It's honestly, it doesn't make sense to have cash, to have any large amounts of cash lying around in savings somewhere, because you're losing purchasing power over time, right? So if we were still in the $5,000 range, and I had saved this to an emergency fund on a bank account, you would have missed out on another $5,000 worth of emergency fund, right? So now my emergency fund that is there waiting for me to use it in case I need it has grown about it's about doubled. So now I can take some of the profit that I made from just holding my emergency fund in Bitcoin and transfer some of that. And when I say transfer some of that, I just mean account for it differently. Scale back the amount of satoshis that I have allocated to my emergency fund, right? So instead of having 14 million satoshis here, right? Let's just say I'm going to change that to 7 million satoshis as my emergency fund, which will still be about $5,000. And I just move the other 7 million satoshis into my long-term savings, into my HODL stash, right? And then as the price of Bitcoin continues to go up, your emergency fund will continue to grow as far as like monetary value, but it'll require less and less satoshis to hit that same monetary value that will accommodate for your emergency, right? So I wouldn't hold cash in large amounts. It's kind of a sucker's play right there. Okay, you're leaving your money ready for the government to steal your purchasing power from that. Yeah, so that's why I agree with BTC Moon Guy. I don't keep an emergency a fiat emergency fund, a dollar emergency fund. El Somra in the house, what up? Welcome. Thanks for tuning in. We're having an interesting discussion about emergency money, emergency fund, right? And how it's probably a better idea to have your emergency fund in Bitcoin, especially right now. Poopcoin leave of interest here. Poopcoin leave of interest. You guys in the US have a lot of money. There you go, where you get 0.5% interest, whereas here in Ecuador, the same that same USD gets you 5 or 10% depending on the account type. That's crazy, dude. It's wild, right? But even still, 5 or 10% in an account is not going to cover inflation, right? So you're still kind of losing. Even though you're getting 5 or 10%, maybe 10% might be okay. But what is the real rate of inflation of the dollar system, right? If the real rate of inflation of the dollar system is more than 10%, then you're still losing, or you're treading water when you're getting those savings. But on top of that, depending on how your tax system works in Ecuador, right? That's capital gains tax, right? If you isn't it count towards your income? So if you and by the way, guys, I'm not a tax person. I'm not a financial advisor, any of that kind of stuff. So this is just a guy talking on the internet. Okay, don't take anything I say as financial advice. But if you're getting 10% return on your investment, you're still treading water, right? Still treading water, not going anywhere. You're not getting any wealthier. You're just staying the same level of wealthy. Poop coin lead. Yeah, that's interesting. Cool. All right, so that is what I got for you guys today on a Friday. I thought I'd have more time to like hang out and do more things, but I got some stuff that came up that I need to take care of. So that will be today's episode. We put up the music to let you guys know that it's time to party. It's Friday. Go have some fun. Go outside. Leonard and I are probably going to go fishing on Sunday if you want to come. Sunday. I'm down to fish if you want to go, Leonard. Take the kayaks out. Catch some spotted bay bass. Release the spotted bay bass. Catch and repeat. Stack spotties. Stack sats. I might even live stream from the kayak. If you guys are interested in watching me fish, look for Roman Castro vlog on YouTube, and you'll see my channel where I fish, where I used to fish a lot. But anyway, okay, I'll see you guys next week. Have a great weekend. But until then, remember, if you ain't stacking, you're slacking. Later, guys. Oh my God, cancel if it's gonna rain. Maybe next weekend.